Peace be with you. My name is Harry Grimes, and I have the joy of serving as the Director of Youth and Family Discipleship at Immanuel in Downers Grove, Illinois. And I am joined by my new daughter, Virginia Joy. She was born in November, and I feel really touched that I get to join you today in sharing this story from our book, God with Us. We're on page 27 if you're following along. If you're going along in the scriptures, we're in Matthew chapter 1. And I feel really honored to get to do this as a new dad, sharing a little bit in what Joseph went through. So we are following along the story of Jesus right after the genealogy, hearing how Immanuel was promised before the foundation of the world. And here we are encountering his parents, who are getting ready to meet Immanuel, God dwelling among us. And I think back to when I was an expecting parent and all the planning and prep, getting a nursery ready, and the 8 million other things it takes to prepare for bringing a child into the world. And I imagine Joseph went through some of those thoughts as well, but you see, his plans were a little different. And his plans kind of got interrupted in becoming a father maybe a little sooner than he thought he would. But that's where we encounter God with us. In this story, we encounter God with us because we have a God who cares enough to intercede when we feel like our plans are interrupted. The plans are not what they're supposed to be in our mind. But as we read in God with Us and in Matthew 1, this was the plan of Immanuel from the beginning. Isaiah tells us that God was supposed to come in this fashion. To this dad who wasn't expecting it, and to a new mom who certainly wasn't ready. But God was still going to dwell with them and to begin his plan of salvation. So I wonder, has there ever been anyone in your life who has interceded just like the angel did for Joseph? Someone who has kind of corrected your course, come in with a reminder that God's plan is still in store and that it is still working even if you feel like it's not. I'm sure we've all sat there before in coffee shops, over FaceTime, or different ways to have someone remind us of God's bigger plan of salvation working. So I'd encourage you to think back about someone who has interceded in your life in that sense. And then also take some time this week to pray and to think, who could I gather with? Who could I spend some time with this week as my us? And remind them of the plan that Immanuel has for them, because you have a God who cares enough to intercede and to dwell with you to bring you that plan. So from here in Downers Grove, Illinois, Jeannie and I say, peace be with you and blessings on this journey of dwelling with God with us.